So having made a list of the basic websites where these pictures came from, either from the hyperlinks or from the comments field one by one, as we've copied them and then boiled them down to just the basics. No http:// or www necessary. We want to get those into a text box here at the end. Now red doesn't make the great background for those credits, so I'm going to just shorten it just to get it out of the way, and then I'm going to add a text box here on the end. So I'm going to use my T for typing tool. I've got my safe zone on so I know exactly where to start. Except I'm not going to end right there. I'm going to just bring the text box down beyond what I can see, because the idea of credits is to have them scroll across the screen. So you need to have more text than actually fits by either having a long list or making the text bigger. Let's start with a simple thank you. Thanks to the following websites for all the pictures in this video. Now I've already made my font fairly large. Yours may be smaller. Now the controls for this text can be found easily by just double clicking on the asset that showed up on your timeline when you did that. If you double click on it, you're going to have all sorts of controls, and you'll be able to see all of the text graphics that you've added. And so this is where I could take this text, Control A, click inside the box with your text tool, Control A, and here is my font size. You can also control the fill, the stroke, depending on what you have in the background. White text on a black background for basics is fine. Let me go ahead and copy, since I have it in my Word document, that text, and bring it over here into Premiere. So I've clicked right there and pressing enter a couple times and pasting. And you'll notice that I can't see all of them. In fact, I'm going to select all and make this font a little bigger, at least so that top sentence is across the top. You could also center your text right there if you like. Now, in order to make this move across the screen, we need to find an option that's going to make it roll. And to do that, I think one of the best ways is simply return to your main selection tool, click away, and then reselect your text. And you get a simpler edit of these essential graphics. And this is where we find the roll. And the roll, we want it to start off screen, and then end off screen might be a little much. Unless we have something in the background, let's turn that off. And notice the moment I do that, I've got my scrolling bar here. And so it's going to scroll down to here. Now, did we include all of them? If you have a lot of them, you may need to click on it again and extend this text box down until you get to the end, and then kind of bring it back. So depending on how many you have and the size of the font. Now, don't let your text go over one line. Each website should be on its own line, and you may need to select part of it and maybe make that just a little bit smaller than the rest. Just depends on how big these are. They really shouldn't be any longer than this. And I could probably even leave out most of that right there. Pressing spacebar starts off the screen, and then it just disappears.